Hello everyone, at Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Himvar, and today I actually have a new sort of series for you. Okay, so this is going to be a weekly update, potentially. I will see actually if I'm doing this weekly or bi-weekly. I already do a monthly update of sorts, going over the books I've read. Wait, actually, no, I don't do a monthly update, which is why I actually kind of want to do this, because for those who aren't aware, I do generally reviews on Monday and Friday, a video in front of the camera on Wednesdays and Saturday, and then a poetry video on Thursday. So I decided this would probably take up most of my in-camera videos on Saturdays, just to give you an idea of what I've been doing through the week. This will be books I've read, books I'm reading, maybe some stuff I'm watching, some other stuff going on in my life, videos I've had go out, maybe some videos I'll have going out here in the next couple days. So just stuff like that. It's kind of based off of a few people's things, like Rinfail's Monday Musings, Raph's Navel Gazing, he comes out with on Mondays as well, and then Nico's weekly update, which I don't actually remember what day that comes out on right now, but I'm kind of playing with the idea of calling it Liam's Leapings, because that alliterates, and I like alliteration, hence the name Liam's Lyceum. You know, because I leap from one topic to the next pretty much anyways. I kind of want to keep these short-ish, like 15 minutes if I can help it. I have a problem with rambling, which I'm trying to control a little bit, but mostly so it's less of a hassle for me to upload these videos in actuality, because I'm recording this on Friday night and I'd like for it to go up on Saturday morning. So that's basically what's going on. So I just want to talk about like my last week, I suppose. So as far as like actual reading goes, I finished Neuromancer a week ago. I actually have most of these books that I'm talking about here. So I finished Neuromancer by William Gibson. This is the first in the Sprawl trilogy. This is like the quintessential, the seminal cyberpunk novel. Not the first work of cyberpunk, but it's like the cyberpunk novel basically. And I actually really enjoyed this one. I ended up listening to it on audio. I've had this physical copy for about half a year though. I do plan on getting to the next book, which is called Count Zero, I think, and then the third one is Mona Lisa Overdrive or something like that. So it's just those three books. I think a lot of people don't really read past Neuromancer, but I really enjoyed this. I mean, I didn't like love it, but I really enjoyed it. So I finished that about a week ago, and that was actually after I had watched Ghost in the Shell, which I actually came out with a video today, which should have gone out Wednesday, but it wasn't ready. And so today I came out with, so on Friday, the day before this, I guess when you're seeing this potentially, I came out with an episode on the movies I recently watched. I watched Ghost in the Shell, and that really got me into cyberpunk, wanting to read cyberpunk. So I did a Neuromancer, and then after that I actually listened to 36 Streets by T.R. Napper. This one's new. I think it came out this year, actually, 2022. So it is a recent cyberpunk novel. It does some things differently. In a lot of ways you can definitely see the influence from Neuromancer. I don't think that will happen where you don't see the influence from that. Well, maybe a little bit, I guess. But it's pretty interesting. It takes place, the main character, Lin, is Vietnamese, takes place in Hanoi, and it's pretty freaking good, to be honest. It's a pretty interesting future. Lin is a very good character. It's rather tragic, definitely a dystopian, you know, that's part of cyberpunk, I suppose. So I really enjoyed 36 Streets. So I will have reviews for all of these. The problem is that as of right now, I have about 12 reviews to record, and the last review I have recorded goes up August 5th. So I'm insanely ahead on my reviews. I mean, that will probably put me into something ridiculous like October once I get all those reviews recorded, and it's only July. So I'm way ahead on reviews. I might start doing more than 2 a week with how far ahead I am. I just imagine at some point I'll probably slow down with my reading, so it'll be good to have that backlog of reviews, but I still have tons to record. So 36 Streets, actually after I had finished reading those, I can't remember what my physical read is off the top of my head. Oh, no, wait. I don't remember what it was. That's bad. I didn't get it out actually. I read Sea Fay Queen, book 8 in the Spiral Wars by Joel Shepard. And then I was also reading Dragon Wing by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, book 1 in this series. What was it called? Oh, Deathgate Cycle, that's what it is. I enjoyed that. I started that in September actually, so I got back to it so I could finish it, since I had stopped it when I got a nice episode of depression coming in back in September. And so I read those 3 plus Sea Fae Queen. I'm currently reading Sometime Lofty Towers. I'm actually pretty darn close to finishing this one. It's not very long. This is the buddy read for July, actually. Sometime Lofty Towers by David C. Smith. It's a modern sword and sorcery, literary. It's actually rather kind of like a Wild West fantasy setting, so not guns, but swords and type of stuff and magic. Pretty sneaking good. I'm actually really enjoying that one. It's rather romantic in some ways, but existential in other ones. I'm listening to The Bane of the Black Sword by Michael Moorcock. I'm not very far into this one at all. This is tiny. I'm not sure how long the stinking audio is, but I'm on part 1 still, which seems to be a decent chunk of the book. First 54 pages of 157, so about a third of the book. It's pretty decent so far. I don't know. It's not like blowing my socks off or anything. We'll see what I make of it. I actually just finished the audiobook for Gurzel by I Anonymous. Actually today, I read this back in February. I was able to get a copy of the audiobook thanks to the author, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would ever go back and reread a book that quickly after reading it the first time. Who knew Gurzel was that good for me? It came off a lot darker this time. It makes me wonder if that's just the audiobook, like the vibe I get from the audiobook, or if it's just I was in such a different place at the time where the dark parts of the story didn't stand out as much. But it's really stinking good. I love Gurzel. It's a great Arthurian tale. Besides that, I finished Eversion. I finished this yesterday, actually, by Alistair Reynolds. This comes out in August in the United States. Again, I'll have a review up for this at some point. Actually, this one might come out before all the other ones, because I don't want it coming out in October. I'd like for it to come out before the book releases. I don't know, no real reason why, but I'm going to try to get this one out before the book releases, so I'll have to record this one soon. Safe to say, I really enjoyed this one. There's not a lot I can say, actually, because the story goes places, and you don't want to spoil it. So there's that. I did kind of want to go over maybe the book I'm reading right now, besides Sometime Lofty Towers and listening to Bane of the Black Sword, is Crossover by Joel Shepard, the first in the Cassandra Krasnov books. I actually got interested in this one after I was reading, or when I was reading book 8 in Spiral Wars, Sea Fae Queen, which I can't believe I didn't grab. But I love Joel Shepard, and I've read all 8 of those, and that's it though. And he's written 10 other speculative fiction books, 4 fantasy, and 6 Cassandra Krasnov novels. Now these are traditionally published, actually, and so is this fantasy series. Spiral Wars is self-published. He did recently get the rights reverted back to him. I don't know about his first fantasy series. I think he did, but I know for sure he did for Cassandra Krasnov, because I had this print on demand, actually, when I ordered it. So the reason I was interested in this one is because I'm a big fan of his Spiral Wars, which is sci-fi. This is also sci-fi, a different universe, but it is cyberpunk, and particularly it is inspired by the Ghost in the Shell, which I've been digging recently, and this is, I think we would probably call it post-cyberpunk, actually, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to make a video on the cyberpunk genre at some point here. Maybe I'll go into that in a minute. I'll talk about some videos I'll come up with soon, at least that I'd hope to. But it's not dystopian. That's basically it. It's not actually a lot of action so far. About 100 pages in. There's a lot of political stuff going on. A lot of setting up the character, of making her seem like she's human, even though she's not. She's a robot. She's very much like the Major from Ghost in the Shell character. Take that as you will. Freaking great though. I love Joel Shepard. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of this series. As far as books I think I might get to soon, I have a whole stack on my side of the bed. I don't want to bore you with those because I just have too many. I think one I'll probably get to sooner rather than later. I might actually even do the audiobook, but that is Jack Vance's Leoness. The first book is Soldier's Saga, Soldier's Garden. This is a book I am reading with T from An Erudite Adventure. We decided to read this together. It is Arthurian, but it's actually kind of pre-Arthurian as far as I'm aware. Of course, it takes place on Leoness, which is kind of like an Atlantis type thing going on. Means it got sunk. It's not Atlantis, but I'm really looking forward to this one. This will be my next Jack Vance book. I've already read 4 Jack Vance books, but they were all Dying Earth. So really looking forward to Leoness. Then I thought I'd go over, since I don't do book hauls, I thought I'd go over, I feel like I'm going hyperspeed, but I go over some books I have gotten recently. I recently got this one, Rise of the Horde. I actually finished this. This is a sort of sequel, not really, but kind of works as a sequel to Lord of the Clans by Christy Golden, which I actually talked about with my brother about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago at this point. Quite fun. We're going to be talking about Lord of the Clans here soon, actually. I don't play World of Warcraft, just for those who are aware. And if you don't ever plan on reading World of Warcraft books, go watch the Lord of the Clans one. My brother is fun to talk to, or listen to rather. And so, I actually already read this one. The rest of the stack I haven't read, but I actually haven't even recorded the review for the first one because again I'm so far ahead with my reviews. Then I also got Hemispheres by Mark Everglade. This is a recent cyberpunk novel. It came out a few years ago, I believe. It takes place in a I can't think. It's on a planet that is tidally locked in a binary system. So one side is always daytime, one side is always nighttime. Similar to the White Sand thing from Brandon Sanderson. That's not his original idea. It's a thing. So I'll probably get to that at some point. I also got Michael Moorcock's Elric at the End of Time, another great Michael Whalen cover art. Some of the stories actually don't have Elric in them. I think one of them is a New World's Jerry Cornelius. That's a guy from his weird series that I think is influential actually on cyberpunk. I'm going to try to read that soon. I probably won't read this until after I read some of Moorcock's other stuff. I thought it'd just be good to have for the set. I'm going to definitely probably read Dancers at the End of Time before I read this, and I'm definitely going to finish the Elric saga before I read this as well. So it's just good to have, I thought, at least. I also got, this is something that you don't really see since I don't do book reviews and I don't really talk about the fiction I read sometimes, for the most part rather. I have a lobe of the Apostolic Fathers, volume 1, which is, this is Harvard Press. So this has Clement, First Clement, Second Clement. It also has letters of Ignatius, Polycarp, Martyrdom Polycarp, and the Didac, or Didac. I don't know how people say that in English. It's probably Didac, right? Well, it is in Greek actually. It's a cool thing. It's got ancient Greek on one side. Ancient Greek on one side and modern English on the other side. I don't really know like jack anything about ancient Greek, so nice to learn the alphabet though. So that's basically the earliest Christian writings outside of the New Testament. So I thought that'd be cool to have for my own studies. And I have Acer Gawain and the Green Knight, or Gawain. That's probably how you say that in Middle English, Sir Gawain and the Green Nichte, or something like that. Anyways, but Middle English version, I have several translations. This does not have a translation in it, it's just the original. This is tougher than Chaucer's Middle English, which is something I'm a fan of, so I'm going to try to go through this at some point and figure it out. And then I got Night Watch by Robin Wayne Bailey. I have no clue who this person is. What's really interesting, if you look on the inside here, there's a map of Greyhawk. There's no Greyhawk logo on the front of this. It's actually one of the early Greyhawk novels. There's only a couple of those. They did Gary Gygax series, which 2 the Gore the Rogue novels have the Greyhawk logo on them, which is Saga of Old City and Artifact of Evil. And then you have the Rose Estes books, which I hear are pretty actually awful as far as like Greyhawk novels go. But they're decent, I think, if you read it otherwise. So I'm trying to get a sticker off. I got distracted by it. Anyways, so Night Watch. It doesn't have the logo. This is actually after Gygax got kicked off TSR. It has a TSR logo on it, but and so he was battling with that stuff, and so for whatever reason, they were not able to put the Greyhawk logo on it. So it's pretty interesting. I think it gets a couple things wrong with the lore, but I thought it'd be cool to have one of the. I hear it's better than Rose S's stuff. They did do more Greyhawk novels later, but those are Greyhawk classics. They're basically just novelizations of the old adventures. Then I have this book, Unlikely by J.M. Cullen. Renaissance Fair. My brother actually got this for me, signed by the author. I think he lives in Utah. And I don't really know anything about this book. Besides, I think it has 2 people's point of views. One's in modern times or so, and then one is a Mayan? Is he Aztec? Mayan. I think he's a Mayan warrior from like 1500, more than 1500, 1700 years ago or so. So my brother got this so we could read it together. We'll probably end up talking about it, just like my other brother has it. We've been talking about the Warcraft stuff. So I don't know when I'll read this. I don't actually really know anything about it. It's cool though. It's autographed by the author. So somewhat local author, J.M. Cullen. I don't know. I do look forward to it though. I mean, I read a lot of stuff, if you couldn't tell. I feel kind of random sometimes with that. But I also got a copy of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. I haven't read any Dick yet. This is pretty influential on cyberpunk. Some people say it is cyberpunk, some people say it's not. So I wanted to make an opinion for myself. I hear Blade Runner definitely is. I don't know about the novel. Blade Runner is the adaptation of this novel. I have the version that has an introduction by Roger Zelazny, who I'm a fan of, so I wanted to get this version. Okay, so I'm running about 16 minutes already, so let me get through this last part quickly. I did have a good 4th of July. Actually really fun. I had a date with my wife today as well. My kids just went to sleep. That's when I'm recording this. I haven't really played any games this week. I did play Phantom Dust actually, because I couldn't get to Ultima Online Outlands to work last week, so I played that with my brother. That was fun as heck. I love Phantom Dust. And it's free on the PC and Xbox for those unaware, so you can just go get that. Great game. But the 4th Independence Day was great. I had my wife's aunt come down on Sunday, so that was fun stuff. As far as videos coming up, I have a review for, I believe, Wilding Hall on Monday, which is a great little novel. I suggest the audio, especially if you have Audible membership or whatever. I have the book over there, but that's a great little book. I don't actually remember what review I have coming out on Friday. I think it might be another Eldros Legacy book, Seeds of Dominion, which is up here. And that one's pretty good too. So I think after that, there'll be the week after, I think I have Our Lady of Darkness by Liber, which was the buddy read for June. That was a great book. So I have those on Thursday. I don't actually have a poetry video ready to go yet. I'll need to figure something out, so I'm sure I'll figure something out. It shouldn't be that hard. And then I have nothing planned for Saturday, so it'll probably be this again. It'll be Liam's Leapings number 2. And then on Wednesday, I'm thinking, I could always do tags, but I'm not a big fan of tags. I could definitely do stuff that fills up my time, like more book hauls. I could do tags. I could do a monthly update and like a monthly TBR and a monthly wrap up and stuff like that. That would definitely give me more videos, especially for my rigorous schedule of 5 videos a week. But I don't really want to do those. So I'd like to actually be able to read some of my own fiction at some point. I've read some poetry before, but I don't know. I actually unlisted that video for whatever reason. I'll probably go back and relist it, but it's probably subpar. I'm really critical of my own writing, which I think is pretty typical for most writers. I'd like to read something though. I'm gonna have to read one of my short stories. I don't have to, but I decided to read one of my short stories because I have to share a piece of art for one of my classes next week. That'll be interesting. I hope it goes okay. I've only only one person besides myself has actually read that story. That's not true. It actually got rejected from one magazine, and the 3 editors there had read it, but they rejected it. So, if anyone wants to read it, let me know. I'll send it to you, and you can give me a read it. Just so you know, it's really short. It's about 1,700 words. I definitely wrote it with a stupid vocabulary, so I did that on purpose. That's like the one thing that people pointed out that I might want to change was like, that's kind of what I want it to be like, so I'm not going to change it. I could definitely write something that would probably sell, but I don't want to. I'm not trying to be pretentious when I say that. Like, I don't write a lot actually, and so like when I write something, I write what I want to write. And whether anyone else likes that, that's up to them, I guess. So I'm also thinking about making at least 4 videos on a series I'm thinking about that require me to do some reading to refresh my mind on these essays. But I'm thinking about doing a series on fantasy essays, particularly on fairy stories by J.R.R. Tolkien, from Elfland to Poughkeepsie by Le Guin, Epic Pooh by Michael Moorcock, and The Best Introduction to the Mountains by Gene Wolfe. If anyone knows any other fantasy essays of that type, let me know, and I might make a video on it. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do that, but I'd like to. So if anyone thinks that's a good idea, I know some people have made videos like that before, especially on the first 2 I mentioned. I don't know about the second 2, but those are great ones. I'd probably do it in that order too, actually. So, but I'm sure there's other fantasy essays out there by I like them to be by people that are either like somehow really integrated into the speculative fiction stuff, or actually an author themselves, because Le Guin, Tolkien, Moorcock, and Wolfe are all authors. So, though only one of them's alive still, and he's rather old. But anyways, those are some of my ideas. This video is not super long. Oh, we're hitting 20 minutes. Okay, it's okay. Anyways, let me know what you think. This is just my little musings, my reveries, right, for the week, or my leapings, as you could call them, I guess. I hope it wasn't too boring. Hope it was okay. Hope you got something from it from me. I know it's kind of vloggy in a sense, but hope that's okay. Hope you got some better idea of my readings, since if you don't follow me on the Discord, then you're way behind, basically, because the reviews that come out, I read over a month ago generally. So anyways, keep in touch if you'd like. This has been Liam, Liam's Lyceum. I'll definitely be getting more content to you soon. Oh, and probably some more author interviews if I can get those going. So I'll catch you next time.